Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Travel Talk with Indira. We have today the lovely Lisa Wynn, and Lisa have traveled extensively and is living her life through travel and is healing people. Lisa, welcome to our show.
Thank you. I'm really excited. Hmm.
So, Lisa, why don't we start off by you telling the audience about you?
Okay. So I am a life coach. I work with people who want to change the world in a positive way, but who are not prepared to burn out along the way. So my sort of mandate for life is first your world, then the world. For me, travel is something that I love, that my soul just like lays out all these countries for. So I'm a granny, I'm a dog mum, I love my life in England, and I have been lucky enough to travel to 49 countries so far, still waiting to see what's the magical 50th. I've been to China 53 times with six more trips booked this year. And I'm so excited to talk to you because for me, travel, igniting the soul, living your fullest life, they all come together so beautifully.
So, tell me, how does that tie in with travel advisors? How does life coach and travel help people connect to their inner selves? And how could travel advisors help persons do that?
Mm. Well, certainly, like I have an amazing relationship with my travel advisor. I make absolutely sure that when I talk to her, I tell her like what my heart is desiring next. And of course, I know how to do that. And I think for myself as somebody going to a travel advisor, but for travel advisors to be able to really help people connect with their heart's desire, with what their soul wants from this lifetime, with who they're becoming in life. I think these are things that travel ignites. Now, if you're not obviously a trained life coach, if you don't know how to do all these things, then to help people to really understand what's the next thing that is going to waken them up, what's going to expand their life, what is going to expand who they are, their identity. These are all things that I think, big picture. We can break it all down, but
So,
big picture.
do you think that, so what I'm hearing
Mm,
as a travel advisor myself, I'm thinking also we need to talk to our clients
mm,
and truly listen to what they want in order to curate these destinations for them.
mm. Yes. Yeah, like really to be able to ask questions. I think this is one of the things that I think it's Tony Robbins that says that the best way to a better life is to ask better questions.
Yeah,
So
Tony
when,
Rabbit.
yeah, right. So when you have, if as a traveler, if a travel advisor is asking me, when do I want to go? How much do I want to spend? Like, what are the details? The sort of like the more yang masculine energy container elements, then I'm in my mind and I'm not getting excited. But if a travel advisor is asking me, how do I want to feel on that trip? What do I imagine? What do I daydream about doing with life? Which parts of myself would I like to experience? These sort of beautiful, feminine, open, imaginative questions, I think really ignite somebody to the possibility of travel and mean that when they are traveling, their mind, their heart, their soul is sort of primed to the magic that can happen when you travel rather than ticking the box of another country.
So this would help them, what I'm hearing, this would help them connect to their emotional self and find their identity.
Mm. Yeah,
Is this what we're looking at? Am I on the right path?
yeah, definitely. Yeah, so definitely your emotions. When I think about the way that we live our life every day, like away from travel, away from holidays, whatever, like most people are so stuck in doing the same thing they did yesterday. Most of us think the same thoughts we thought yesterday, with the same emotional response inside. And we have an identity, a self-image, which is like stays pretty clear and exact to us through life. And our life is the size of and the expansiveness of our life is dictated by our identity. So if we get to go places that get us in touch with a part of ourselves we didn't even know about. I remember finding this element of myself which sort of felt like a Kurdish warrioress. I was traveling with this amazing Kurdish guy, and just being taken to places that I never would have gone before, that opened me up to a level of adventurousness and courage that I didn't know about myself. And then when you come back home, you can't step out of that. Now you're more courageous, you're more expansive. Now more things are possible in your life when you get home, in your day-to-day life, than before.
I understand that. So what we are talking about is self-discovery.
Hmm.
And so how could us as travel advisors encourage or motivate persons to make these self-discovery trips, or to help us uncover the dimensions of ourselves that we are looking for?
Hmm.
What sort of questions, or how can we get persons to do this?
Hmm. So I'd be asking sort of emotive questions. So if money were no issue, like if you weren't making the decision financially, we want to take away the blocks that people hold. First, if you could go anywhere in the world, where would you see yourself going? Where do you daydream of going? Which, if you when you watch movies, which locations, which types of movies have you daydreaming about what you would love in your own life? If we can really open people up to imagination, then I think the soul can talk more clearly.
Wow. So why do you think some trips leave this lifelong, what's the word I'm looking for? Impact
Hmm.
on persons rather than others? Do you think that is because they connected to it? Why?
Hmm. So I would say from a spiritual aspect, we've all, I hold the belief anyway, that we've all lived across millennia, and that we have, most of us have many more lives to live, and that actually there are countries which we've lived in before which remind us of who we were in that lifetime, of maybe an aspect of ourself. I feel like it's our soul saying to us, look, remember this. Remember when you were that. And even if we don't use that language, even if we don't make sense of it that way, that we've ignited a memory of ourselves, or we've ignited a
So that deja
possibility of who
vu
we could
feeling.
be. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And also just like, even if it's not, we haven't been in that country before, there's something in that country. It's like, I feel like my soul is our, like pieces of our soul almost. That's almost how I would describe it. Sort of waiting like beautiful jigsaw puzzle pieces
You
around
know,
the
you're
world.
saying that, and it's reminding me, I made this trip once, and I went by myself.
Mm.
And but I just, when I went there, I just broke down and I cried and I cried. And I don't know why I'm crying, but I am crying.
Mm. Mm.
So
Yeah.
that, and it touched me in a different way.
Mm.
And now I feel like everybody should go to that country.
Yeah. Yeah, and because your emotional attachment is so strong to it, right?
Right.
I had the same thing when I got off the plane for the first time in Shanghai. I'd never actually been to Asia at all in my life. And here I was landing in Shanghai, in China for the first time, in Asia for the first time, and as soon as my feet touched the ground in Shanghai, I just started crying. I couldn't stop crying. I cried for 2 hours. And it was, when it's not like the human is crying when it's physical, it's just like the soul is crying. And all I kept doing was, oh my God, I'm home. Thank God I'm home. Thank God I'm home. That's like the
Yes,
phrase.
that is how it felt
Mm,
like I was home. And I'm
mm,
talking about India, by the way.
right? Mm,
So it felt like home.
mm, yeah, yeah. So for you then, like that's the most amazing place for you to go, and to keep going back there and reigniting and remembering and tapping into what your soul most wants you to remember in this lifetime. I think that's so beautiful.
Well, I'm going again in April.
Yay.
And I'm planning some more trips to visit different parts.
Mm, mm,
So, why should us as travel advisors position ourselves as guide for transformative travel rather than just vacation planners?
mm. So I think the danger with a vacation is that we sometimes go on vacation to escape our lives, right? To get some relief from our lives. And it could be a beautiful vacation, but then you come home and your life feels somehow almost more dreary because of the thing. But if you've been on a transformative experience, you're not escaping your life, you're expanding your life, you're becoming more of who you are. Like, there are parts of myself I've discovered in so many countries that when I come home, now I am expanded. Like, my whole life feels bigger, not smaller, because of that holiday. And this is what I think masterful, amazing travel planners can do, is really help people just to keep expanding their life, to be happier, more fulfilled, more powerful, more empowered in life, rather than, can't wait to escape my life for 2 weeks.
That is beautiful, actually.
Hmm.
When they come back, they feel transformed, they feel refreshed, they feel
Hmm.
that they could take over the world now.
Hmm. Yeah.
Is there anything else you would like to share with our audience?
Hmm. I think for me, I look at everything from a individual and a collective. I said, like at the beginning, my mantra is first your world, then their world. And when I look at everything that's happening in the world right now, I honestly can see very few things that wouldn't be improved by us just understanding each other better, by us actually learning to have compassion for each other's difference, and not just compassion, but excitement. When I meet somebody who's been to a country I've never been to, or has a culture different to mine, I cannot wait to learn from them. I'm so excited. I feel this soul expansion. And so much of what's happening in the world today is because I don't trust you, because you don't look like me, you don't sound like me. You must
That is
be
true.
you must be against me if you're not with me. And being with me means being like me. It's so small. Humanity in so many aspects has got so small. And travel connects us in this beautiful way that raises our collective consciousness. And oh my God, I would love more of that for humanity.
I would too. It would make the world a better place and a
Hmm.
safer place for us to live in.
Yes, for sure.
So tell us, Lynn, if our audience wants to connect with you, how can they do that?
Hmm. Well, my favorite way for people to come connect with me is probably on Instagram. So it's just, I am Lisa Wynn. I have a beautiful free membership that people can come and join. So if you come and connect with me on Instagram, send me a private message. I can let you know about that. Um, or I hang out on Facebook as well. But Instagram's the perfect place to come and find me.
So, guys, I am Lisa Wynn. Connect with her, join her free membership program, help transform yourselves. And Lisa, it was lovely speaking with you today. Thank you for taking the time to join us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Guys, I hope you enjoyed listening to Lisa as much as I enjoyed talking to her. I think she's very insightful. And if you want to hear more, you know what to do. Subscribe and join us again. Thanks, guys.